Today we're going to do a bit of an update on our M60 projects. If you've been watching Joe's videos, Joe Hewes' videos, Mr. Hewes, he's got a company called One Fabrications doing the welding the nose back in for us. It's a good job that Joe could have done, job we could have done, but to do it properly and make sure it's 100%, because this slab that should be in here, we reckon weighs just over a ton, it's got to be welded in properly. And these guys are, top men at the job, so we're quite happy that they're doing it for us. Later in the video, you'll see the slab that's been welded back into the other M60. But just to give you an idea again, for anybody who's forgotten or hasn't gone back on our other videos, just look at the thickness of this. This is where the slab will fit or is being welded back on the other vehicle. And like I say, it weighs about a ton. You've got to love Joe's ingenuity. Look at this. There's his handles to his doors. Okay, so here we are in Joe's workshop, Mr. Hewes' workshop, or one of them. Here's our M60 that he's getting running for us and welding up. It looks like he has the same problem we do in our workshop. There's a great big flood in here, so obviously when you get heavy rain, floods in. But here she is. Haven't seen her for a while. And look at that weld, wow. I think he's got a company called One Fabrications doing the welding. It's a specialist job. We could have welded it. Joe definitely could have welded it. But because of the weight of that chunk of armour that's been cut out, it's been decided that we'll use a company that is a specialist welding company. And looks like it's proving dividends, because just look at that. Not sure how heavy this chunk is, but it's got to be getting on towards a ton. So it needs welding in properly, because if it, when we're using it, bouncing around, if you don't weld them in properly and those welds crack, that could drop in. Your driver's legs are directly underneath that, so it would kill the driver. So no, it's got to be absolutely spot on. So that's why we get a professional team in to do it. And look at those welds. That is incredible. Beautiful, beautiful. Not sure yet how much it's cost for all the welding wire, but doing it right, it's got to be done. So there's the outside. You can see what we're going to do is once they've finished welding it, we'll grind it level, and you can see down on that bottom corner there where they've already ground it a bit, just to see if it comes up all right, and it has. That looks perfect to me. Yep, that looks perfect. I think this is actually burnt out all the way around here, so yeah, we'll build that up level and then we'll grind it. We'll get the grinders on it and grind it level. When it's finished, you won't even know it was ever broken. Obviously, you can never put these back in battle. That's why they are deactivated like this. Because you took a hit on there, there's a good chance it would shatter the weld. So this is only for museum purposes and just to look cosmetically right. We're never going to take it back into battle, so we'll be more than happy with it as it is. So I wonder what it looks like inside though, because I've not seen anything about the inside yet. So we'll have a look inside. They're also welding the barrel on for us, and we've already done the other one ourselves. That one's already welded up, but these guys are doing this one, which is good because it's a bit of a horrible job, and I'm quite happy that they're doing it for us. You can see how again they've had to filler weld it. They've put these rods down, these bars down here, so it's square. Otherwise, it'll look a bit how's your father. So they've managed to get it square, welding here, filling it in. So yeah, that'll be when we collect it in a week or few weeks time. That'll all be hunky dory, and all we'll have to do is just clean up the weld again. But no, she's coming on beautifully. We will climb inside and have a quick look inside, see how she's. What the inside's like. I don't think they've managed to weld any of that yet. I think that's still to be done, but it'd be quite interesting to have a look in there and see how it's coming along. They haven't managed to do the crosses yet. This is where they've gas axed through the turret sides. I think they're doing them for us. I mean, if they're not, that's not the end of the world. We could weld them up ourselves, but I think they're going to do them as well. And also on the side of the cupola here, there's a great big cut through there. We don't think any of them have gone in the actual rings though, because we can still traverse the turret and traverse that. So we don't think when they've gas axed through it, we don't think they've cut anything too seriously. But yeah, that still needs doing. Well, I hope you brought your light, Dave, because it's pitch black in here. I can't see where. If I suddenly disappear, you know I've missed the footstep. Oh. Good job it's a big turret. Get it. Right. I forgot how complete it is in here. It's a right mess, but yeah, she's reasonably complete, this one. But obviously we had the engine problem with this, so where you win with one thing by having a bit more stuff inside the turret, you lose on the other because your engine's buggered. Oh, can I say buggered? Fortunately, we have some of our lads are quite small, and they'll be able to squeeze in there and clean this up with needle guns and wire wheels. Yeah, Luke or Jake even. Jake's quite small. I'm sure Elliot would love to be in here as well. He seems quite keen on this sort of job. So no, but it's not looking too bad really. At least it's there, and they're making a beautiful job. So that's where the fire extinguishers go. The crew heater is over there in that corner, behind that that rubber pipe that goes over there. All your gauges and stuff and your controls, switch, dashboard and stuff, that's all over here on the right. That's not in too bad a condition really. That should clean up quite well, and we have got a few new gauges we can replace it with. Gear selector looks like it's been freed up. The steering, that broke. We've got to replace the whole of the steering, and that comes across here. We'll make a new one of those, so that's not the end of the world. Right, these should be, I guess, they're oil traverse, and it should be done with all that. But because the engine's not running, it won't work. So we've got to manually traverse it round, and it takes a bit of doing. Certainly don't need to go to the gym after you've been messing around with this little baby. So there we go. God, I'm going to go all the way around. And we're going to be welding this up. I think we'll be doing this. This is relatively straightforward. It's only just to make it look okay. Obviously, it'll never be able to fire anything. This would go bang in your face if you ever try to fire this again. But at least we'll make it. We might even just use a bit of filler, something just to make it look like it's about right. And then, as you can see on the crosses on the side, that's got to be stripped off and then welded up. Get the box off the inside, etc., and weld that up. Again, not too big a job that. That'll come up quite nice. And we have another one on this side. Again, it'll that's relatively straightforward to weld that up. We're not trying to make it battle ready again. All we're trying to do is make it look about right. So, wow, what a size of an engine bay. Obviously it's got to be pretty big because the engine is ginormous that goes in here. This is where your gearbox would go. Engine sits there. These are your fuel tanks either side. I don't know exactly how much fuel they hold, but quite a bit. I'll have to look that one up. She looks in fair condition in here though. You can see she needs a good clean out. Probably send one of our lads up to do that. Save Joe's guys having to do it. But fingers crossed. All the wiring looks like it's pretty complete. I don't think that's been cut at all. So I'm not saying it's going to be plug and play, but at least it looks like the majority of it is still there. Obviously inside in the crew area, the wiring there has been melted. So we have got to sort of trace all that back. I think Joe will probably just get it so it starts and stops and drives, and he'll leave the wiring side of it to us. I'd rather he didn't, but I don't blame him for doing that. So yeah, this will come up nicely though. There are your torsion bars. You can see these bars running along here. This is your torsion bars. Same as in a lot of these tanks, even in 432. These are the bane of our lives in 432s. because they're forever snapping. They're only about half the size of half the thickness of these though. We have got spares, so hope I never have to change one. Here the bottles we talked about inside the crew area, the fire extinguisher bottles, this is where they actually come to. So this is your fire suppression system. The idea is you pull the toggle in there and it blows extinguisher out of there. I don't know whether it's CO2 or what it is in this at the moment, but basically that's the idea. So it floods the engine bay with a fire suppressant and hopefully puts it out. We will get all that rigged up again, because the one thing we don't want is to end up with an engine fire, especially after all this hard work. The other things they gas axed. There should be armoured covers over the top here, and all they've done is just gas axe through the hinges. So the hinges are still there, but the armour's off. We have got replacement armour for that though, so we can repair it. Went all the way along both sides. Part of the problem was when it was in the yard in Greece, they left these pipes off, so it's rained in and gone straight inside the turbos, and that's what's caused some of the problems with some of the engines that we've had. But that is what it is. We couldn't do much about that. It was out of our hands, unfortunately. So we didn't actually break into Joe's workshop. We did get permission before we turned up. He's on another job, so he couldn't be here today. But he said we could come in and have a look, see how he's getting on. Now, we've known Joe forever, actually. I've known his dad. His dad used to do the contracting on our farm. So he used to do the haymaking, silage and that sort of stuff. And also his uncle, Eric, who's as mad as a box of frogs. But yeah, we've known his family for donkey's years. And Joe has grown into an amazing character, and he's making a good go of it. And he's very knowledgeable when it comes to this sort of job. So it's good to be working with him. Anybody out there who might have spares for these M60s, we have a bit of a shopping list. We did manage to get the master cylinders, so they're good, we've got those. We could do with seats or seat cushions. As you can see there, it's melted. The dashboard, anybody who's got spare dashes for them, we could do with those. And also the cover around the gun mantlet. On both of ours, they're quite rotten. There must be some of those kicking around somewhere, so if anybody's got any of those lying around or in stock, please let us know. There's bound to be other bits as we go on, but anybody who's got anything M60, please get in touch, because we may well be interested in buying some of your bits off you. So there we have our latest update on our M60 project, thanks to Mr. Hewes. If you go onto his videos, you'll see a lot more detail. And then please go back on our other videos. You'll see when we first got these into the country and their story so far, their journey. And keep watching, because you'll see this now. Once Joe's finished with it and he's got it running and driving and finished welding it up, we will then start the restoration project process and hopefully get it all working tickety-boo, ready for the next show season, which is only months away now. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. It all helps, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. The thickness here is waffling, really. But this firm are the... I don't know what to say, really. I've said it all, haven't I?
Recording.
Woo, it's gone haywire.
Crack the screen.
Don't normally get to see Dave. This is our cameraman, editor. He's in charge of our videos. So if you don't like them, then please moan to Dave. But there you go. That's the cut that's got to be repaired. Cool. There you go, Dave. Give you that back before I drop it.
Thank you.